up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in this video, we are talking about the Lions versus the Raiders last night, and a little bit more than that, okay? But basically, I told you guys that I was going to be very upset, okay? I overreact to a lot of things on the day after the game, okay? I just do, because it's still the same day. But now, we're going to be talking about the Lions a little bit after, well, the Raiders game, okay? So let's get this thing started. Stafford has put this team on his back and carried them, but this honestly isn't really even news at this point, okay? We've seen this so many times. But let me just run through a few numbers that Matthew Stafford has been putting up, but yet he has the nerve after the game to say that he can do more. I know he can do more, but Stafford, it's not your fault, okay? I know you're trying to be a good, nice person, but it's not your fault, man. Okay, but anyways, I also have a comparison of this Detroit Lions team that I think is kind of scary accurate, okay? So let's get it started. So basically, Matthew Stafford, coming off of that Raiders game, he completed 26 of 41 passes, 406 passing yards. Yes, 400 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And they didn't credit him for that fumble, but come on, y'all. I don't think that was his fumble. But either way, Matthew Stafford didn't play his best game of the season, but he played an outstanding game, okay? So Matthew Stafford, after the game, talks about, I could have done more and stuff like that. He's going to say that he's a quarterback. He always puts that on himself, and that's why I love Matthew Stafford. But the thing is, Matthew Stafford is having a heck of a year, okay? His numbers are ridiculous. Matthew Stafford is in top 5 in so many passing categories. It's insane. Consistency. Top 5 in passer rating of 106, which is actually the best so far in his career. He's on pace to have the best of his career. He also has 19 touchdown passes, which is second in the league. He also has 8.6 yards per attempt, which is 4th in the league. He already has 2,499 passing yards, which is 1 yard shy from 2,500, which means he's just behind by a yard. Or 2 yards, I guess if you added it up, of having another 5,000 passing yard season. Another one of those, like 2011. Yeah, it's about to get creepy, okay? And also, Matthew Stafford has been playing lights out. I mean, this has really been his best season, you could say. Last season, 21 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. This season, already 8 games in, 19 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. But that's not exactly what we're going to be talking about. So basically, as we know, Lions set at 3-4-1 after a tough loss. Their defense just seems to be struggling. After what seemed like a pretty good start to the year, they've just completely fallen off. And it's like, what the heck just happened? Well, I kind of have a little scary, I guess, comparison you could say here between Detroit Lions teams. So coming into the year, I compared the Lions to the 2014 Lions, okay? I compared this Lions team to that Lions team. I thought there was going to be a lot of similarities, but it turns out I should have been comparing them to the 2011 team, maybe even the 2012 team, to be honest with you. But I'm going to compare it to the 2011 team. Why? Because that team made playoffs, and I like thinking of happy memories. Okay, either way, the Lions in 2011 finished 10-6, as a lot of people can remember. Matthew Stafford had an outstanding season, 41 touchdowns passes, 5,000 passing yards. Matthew Stafford was just great that year, and the Lions went to 10-6, which was their first time making the playoffs in over a decade. It was a young coach, Jim Schwartz, was coaching them up, and they went 10-6. They started off 5-0 that season, and they finished 5-6, which got them in the playoffs. So it doesn't really matter. They got in the playoffs. They lost to the Saints in a pretty big loss, but the Saints were just an outstanding team at that time. Either way, it's kind of scary so far how 8 games through the season, the similarities between the 2011 Lions and the 2019 Lions, I mean, it's so similar, they're nearly identical in some things. When you look at Matthew Stafford, okay, we're going to look at Matthew Stafford through the first 8 games in 2011 and 2019, okay? Let's compare these real quick. 2011, let's look at the touchdown to interception ratio. Now, I can go game by game because I did do that, but basically, I'm going to keep it simple. Through 8 games, Matthew Stafford in 2011 had 16 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. In 2019, 19 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Very, very similar when you look at those. Again, in 2011, they started off 5-0, and then they finished 5-6, okay? So that is exactly how the first 8 games went. You can see there's a lot of similarities there in yards and touchdowns and interceptions between the two. Now, when you look as a team, this is where it gets even creepier. When you look as a team, the Detroit Lions in 2011 ranked 5th in yards per game as an offense. In 2019, they ranked 5th in yards per game as an offense with a 5-yard difference. That's it. Just 5 less yards this season. Well, in 2011, they ranked 4th in passing. In 2019, which is this year, right now, they rank 3rd in passing. Looking at the rushing stats, in 2011, they ranked 29th in rushing, which, again, they've never been able to run a ball. 93 yards per game. This season, they're 21st, but it's only 96 yards per game, so it's really only 3 more yards. Okay, that's it. It's only 3 more yards on the ground. Total defense, okay, like the yards allowed per game. In 2011, they were 23rd, giving up 367 a game. In 2019, this is embarrassing. 31st, 424 yards per game. 424 yards. Okay, we got to move on. And then in 2011, points allowed per game, we were 23rd, giving up 24.2. Now, in 2019, we are 27th, giving up 27.1. So, you can see the defense is actually a little bit worse this year than that 2011 team. That 2011 team that was known to put up tons of points to outscore everybody. Stafford had to do everything. That defense was actually better than this defense. Now, there are a couple of differences. If you look back at the NFC North in 2011, it's kind of like switched roles, but not necessarily. Okay, 2011, Packers went 15-1. Right now, they sit at 7-2. I know some people thought, hey, maybe they'll go 15-1 again. I didn't think they would. They're still going to have a really good record, okay? And there's a really good chance they do win the division. I'm not sure if they will, but there's a good chance. Now, then you had the Lions in 2011 finishing 10-6. Right now, you have the Vikings at 6-3 after their loss. Then you have the Bears in 2011 sitting at 8-8, us 3-4-1, and then the Vikings with 3-13, and right now the Bears are 3-5. So as you can see, there are a lot of similarities between this team and the 2011 team. And really, there's not much of a difference. The only difference is that the Lions were able to win some of those games early, and they were able to get off to a 5-0 start. This year, we got off to a 2-0-1 start. Really, it should have been 3-0. There's not a lot of differences here. This team, I'm not saying this team can't make the playoffs. I'm not saying this team still doesn't have anything to fight for. This team is still well in the race because everybody else lost. I mean, that was a big opportunity. We didn't capitalize on our opportunity. But then again, no one did in the North because everybody had the opportunity, right? If everybody loses, the Bears had the opportunity, the Packers, the Vikings, everybody had an opportunity. But no one took advantage. So right now, we just lost another week. That's basically all it is. I'm not saying this team can't make the playoffs, but it's scary how many similarities there are. And actually, the defense being worse than the 2011 defense is what really worries me. This defense has to be better. And it's just that simple. Matthew Stafford has had a crazy, crazy good year. And if you want to say Stafford didn't play great last game, you can, but to say that it wasn't his best game and he had 400 passing yards means that he has been destroying it this year. So it's kind of scary. I mean, these stats nearly line up a lot of times, and defensively we are worse than that 2011 team. It's simple. The Lions defense has to be better. Matthew Stafford, you can, obviously everybody can be better, but you have been playing great, okay? We need this defense just to step it up. It's that simple, okay? We are a couple of plays away from beating the Raiders, but at the same time, a playoff team isn't just a couple of plays away from getting that win, are they? Right? I mean, did you see what the Packers did to the Raiders? Come on now. Like, we can play better defense than this. I have confidence in this defense that they can be better than this. This is just an embarrassment right now. We're at their lowest low, and I think versus the Bears is a great chance to get some confidence. The Bears' offense is not good. It's simply not good. The Lions should get a lot of confidence. They should go out there and try to just try to manhandle the entire Bears offense. They should just try to shut them out. Don't even let them score. Don't even let them score. Try to play your best game against the Bears and grab some dang confidence. Okay, I think they will beat the Bears just because the Bears don't score enough. But this is a game where you can get a lot of confidence because if this could just be switched, if you could just be average defensively, we would be really good. I mean, look at our games. We have not got blown out. We have not got blown out once. The game that we probably should have got blown out is the Vikings game. We literally could not stop a thing. But yet our offense stayed in the game. Our offense just kept scoring. They kept us in the game. So we haven't got blown out. We've showed, look, we're not going to get blown out. We can compete with everybody that we play. Okay? We played that 7-2 Packers team and had them basically beat. We played the Vikings team who we could not stop, yet we were in the game to the end. We played the Chiefs team who we were one sack with Mahomes, one sack away from winning that game, one stop on 4th and 8. We could compete. The problem is we just got to find a way to finish out these games, and it just takes a few more plays. This defense doesn't have to be top 5 in the league like maybe some of us thought it would. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that. Okay, I'll take responsibility for saying I thought this defense was going to be outstanding. Turns out they're one of the worst in the league so far. But that doesn't mean you can't change it around. That doesn't mean this defense can't get average. If they were average, we would win a lot of games. This defense just needs to get a little momentum, just a little bit of confidence, some swagger, something. And I thought a trade would do that for Von Miller or something along those lines, but it didn't because we didn't make a trade. So I think the Bears game is your opportunity. Let's go make it happen. We don't run the football very well, okay? We don't. We don't run the football well at all. We are still putting up all these points, okay? We're not terrible. We're almost getting 100 yards per game. We're not terrible. We may even go get another running back, but it's simple. If our defense can just be almost average, we would turn the season around. We could turn the season around. That 2011 team was not good. This is not a good defense, okay? I understand they're different years, but you're 29th, okay, in rushing. That's not good offense. You're 23rd in total defense. You're 23rd in points allowed, yet they went 10-6. This team just has to be there. I mean, if we were there, we would win some games. I mean, if we could just force some turnovers, we would have a different record. This whole season would be different. Okay, when you look at it, the Lions they just need to get a couple spots better. They just got to get a little bit better. And honestly, the way that Stafford is playing, I hate to say it, but it looks like he's going to have to carry us again. It's true. He does it all the time. But seriously, the way that he is playing, the way that Darrell Bevell has his offense clicking, if we could just please get a little bit better defensively. I'm not saying got to be even a top half of the league. Just get better, we will be fine. I think this team can get a lot of confidence versus Bears. I still believe in this team. Like I said, I was going to overreact this today. I'm going to overreact once the game ends. But I think now back to earth. Okay, I understand. Look, we're not in a good position. I'm not giving up on this team like some people may. And if you want to give up on it, okay, that's fine. But don't trust me. Don't think that I'm going to. I'm not going to, like I said, until it's mathematically impossible. That's just, I can't. I won't. Okay, I won't. Now, do I have tons of confidence in this team? Defensively, not really, but I believe they can get it way back and get a lot of momentum back, a lot of motivation back, everything versus the Bears. I'm excited for that matchup. It's going to be a huge game. We can make a lot of ground up, and we also can get a lot of momentum going into really the second half of the season. So that's just my little take. This team is compared to the 2011 team. This team is very similar, yet that 2011 team went 10-6. We could do that if we literally just get a little bit better defensively, and I think it starts next week. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.